Hello, wrestling fans. Blake Smith from Walking the Ropes, and welcome to another episode of Walking the Ropes Wrestling Review for AEW Rampage from Baltimore, Maryland. To open the show, we had Ruby Soho and Toni Storm versus Dr. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. This match is a little teaser for the Owen Hart Women's Tournament as this heated grudge match here, as these four women have been throwing shade at each other over the last few weeks, but not getting physical because, well, they promised they wouldn't. They start out quick, and surprisingly, Bret starts out most of the match and takes a beating from both Ruby and Toni. Bret, though, uses her vicious side and slams Toni face first into the turnbuckle. After getting the tag, though, Jamie starts to wear down Toni, beating her with clubbing blows and tossing her around the ring. Toni, though, responds with tossing her around the ring herself, and Ruby picks up the pace for her and her partner. Everyone in the ring is now in the ring, and Britt goes for a Panama Sunrise, but can't get it, and everyone then gets laid out. Britt, out of nowhere, goes for the lockjaw, but Toni rolls out of it and takes control once again. Britt makes the difference, and then Britt hits the stomp, but Ruby makes the save, and Toni then rolls up Britt for the win. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. That was a very good match, or a great match. I mean, pretty much exactly what you would expect. Although I don't know, Jamie's probably not gonna win in her match, and Britt, I'm not sure, because we know that Toni and Jamie are going at. So, but I don't know who Britt has. So we shall see. Eddie Kingston oddly calls AEW or Chris Jericho specifically, but they said they had a call for Jericho. Talks about how his wife was terrified of what Jericho did, and he is going to make Jericho pay. My WTR scale, I gave that a good. And for Tony Nese, he comes and talks with Mark Sterling about how he is still being underutilized, and he is going to prove everyone wrong. Mark would like a match for Tony with Danhausen. My WTR scale, I gave that a good. It was a little odd, though. I didn't expect them to select the Danhausen, but yeah. We then get Hook versus JD Drake. Hook makes his way to the ring, and he is taking on the much bigger JD Drake. Hook headbutts one of JD Drake's chops and then tosses him around the ring. JD goes for a powerbomb, but Hook flips over and locks in the Red Rum for the win. Danhausen makes his way to the ring after the match, and he has a proposition for Hook, for Hook, and he to be in Danhausen's corner for Tony Nese's match. Hook and Danhausen then stand face to face in the ring, and Danhausen kind of shoves Hook a bit, and then Hook really shoves Danhausen down, and Danhausen then leaves, but puts a bag of chips in the ring with a bow on it for Hook. He kind of grabs it and then tosses it down and leaves. My WTR scale, I gave it a great. I've been loving this. We then get the FTR talking about one of their one-on-one match and how Dax is going to win the whole Owen Hart Cup. First, he will beat Adam Cole, and he is going to do it for Owen. My WTR scale, I gave that a great. I'm looking forward to that match. We then get Riho versus Yuka Sakazaki in what is likely the last spot for qualifying for the Women's Cup, because the men got one mystery opponent, so the women are likely to get that as well. These two are very similar and familiar with the Joshi style of wrestling. They move quickly and waste no time flipping to the outside as Sakazaki lands on Riho. Yuka is locking up Riho in a knot, really, and Riho crawls to the ropes and starts to come back as she hits a bulldog out of the corner. Yuka goes for the Magic Girl splash, but Riho gets her knees up and then goes for a double knee, and we have a kind of roll-up fest and make our way to the top rope, where Yuka smashes Riho down face first with kind of a Russian leg sweep. It was pretty brutal, honestly. They then just kind of resort to straight shots when Riho, out of nowhere, rolls up Yuka for the win. We then do get our reveal of the bracket like I assumed we would, and it is as follows. Riho versus Ruby, Red versus Shida, Toni versus Jamie, and Bret versus the Joker, like I thought we would. I didn't expect it to be Britt getting that match, but I thought we would be getting a Joker, I should say. So that's Joe getting the Joker and Britt getting the Joker. Two kind of big people for the tournament. So whoever is the Joker, they are going up against a tough opponent. My WTR scale, I gave that a grade. We then get Shawn Spears talking about how Wardlow, he's basically the reason Wardlow is as big as he is now, and he knows Wardlow so well. He basically tells everybody he is going to be the next challenger for Wardlow before MJF can do anything. My WTR scale, I gave that a good. Dan Lambert talks in the ring with the Men of the Year, and he shits on Baltimore, even though I think it's his hometown. Paige then says he is sick of Ty and Sammy and doesn't want his kids to watch them anymore, so their match is off, the mixed tag match. Frankie comes out and says he doesn't care about any of that and says he just wants Sky to keep his word. Sky says he will be a fighting champion and will defend it, and tells Dan to put the other belt back in the case like it should have been in the first place. He then gives Frankie his match, and the first ever AEW Tag Team Champions will now fight for the TNT Championship. That is a match I didn't ever think we would get, so that's very cool. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. We then get Jungle Boy and Ricky Starks arguing on stage, and I say it's arguing, it's more of just a straight fight. Jungle Boy kind of comes out and gets slapped by Ricky, and he then just responds by tossing Ricky around and then down the tunnel, and he grabs the FTW title and stands tall. For my WTR scale, I gave that a good. Mark Henry then talks with the main event contenders, and Sanjay says Takeshita should be very afraid. Jay Lethal is the longest reigning Ring of Honor Television World Champion, and he will beat him tonight. For my WTR scale, I gave it a good. We then get our main event of the night. Takeshita versus Jay Lethal. I'm not going to attempt the first name. You can read it there yourself. I'm not going to butcher myself like that. Takeshita is a fantastic Japanese performer, and he is looking to show Jay just how good he is. Jay, on the other hand, is overconfident as of late, and it seems to be working for him. Takeshita, though, goes back and forth with one of the more experienced men, and he even gets the edge flying over the top rope, crashing into Jay. Satnam Singh, though, distracts Takeshita, and Jay capitalizes on it, starting to gain control in the ring. He's wearing down Takeshita and starting to target his knees as they go inside and outside of the ring. Takeshita then goes to the top rope, and Jay stops him, but Takeshita then reverses it and hits a big lariat off the top rope. Like, he just leans back and just throws himself into it. We then get Jay Lethal answering with a figure four, and Takeshita rolls through, then gets a brain buster. Takeshita then hits a huge flying knee and would have won if not for Sanjay getting up on the apron and distracting the referee and allowing Jay Lethal to come back and hit the lethal injection. I mean, what did you expect? That's exactly, Takeshita didn't have anybody come out to his side. That is the finish. After the match, Satnam Singh, Jay Lethal, and Sanjay Dutt beat down Takeshita. The best friends make their way out. We get Trent and Chuck getting in the ring. They slide right past Satnam, go at Sanjay and Jay. They quickly get dealt with because Singh just grabs them and swats them away, basically. Singh then backs off Orange, and then Samoa Joe comes out, and he is held off by security. That is where we end. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. For my overall, I gave it a good. It was a very good show. I mean, it's only an hour, so sometimes it might not feel the most amazing, but it was still a very good show. My segment of the night goes to Eddie's phone call. I think that was a very unique way of doing that, and I really did enjoy that. And my match of the night surprisingly actually goes to Yuka and Riho. I'm typically not the type of person that gives the middle match the match of the night because they don't typically go crazy, but they really did go well, and I loved that match. And I think it will be good for the tournament. And then my performer of the night is going to Takeshita. If you hadn't seen him, he really did impress, and I loved that match. But that is all for this episode of Walking the Ropes Wrestling Review. Thank you all for dropping in. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notifications whenever we upload a video. And I'll see you in the next one.